My name is Sophia. For 10 years, I believed I had the perfect marriage. My life was beautiful. It was like a story from a book. I lived in a lovely house with a green garden. White flowers grew near the windows. The sun always seemed to shine on our street. I had a husband, Leo. I loved him very much. We had 2 children, a boy and a girl. Our son, Sam, was 7 years old. He had his father's smile. Our daughter, Lily, was 5. She had my eyes. Our life was full of happy moments. Or so I thought. Every morning, our house was filled with laughter. Sam would tell silly jokes at the breakfast table. Lily would sing little songs. Leo would drink his coffee and watch us. He always had a warm look in his eyes. He would look at me and smile. "Good morning, my love," he would say. His voice was calm and gentle. It made me feel safe. It made me feel loved. I believed I was the luckiest woman in the world. Leo had a good job. He worked in a big office in the city. He worked with computers. I didn't understand his job very well. It was complicated, but I knew it paid well. It gave us our beautiful house. It gave us nice holidays. It allowed me to stay at home with the children. I loved being a mother. I loved taking care of our home. I made our house a warm and happy place. I planted flowers in the garden. I baked cookies with the children. Our life was perfect. My friends said so. "Sophia, you have everything," my friend Anna told me once. "A wonderful husband, great kids, a beautiful home." I smiled. "I know," I said. "I am very grateful." And I truly was. We had routines, happy routines. On Saturdays, Leo would make pancakes for breakfast. He would make them in funny shapes: a star for Lily, a car for Sam. On Sundays, we often went to the park. We would play with the children. We would have a picnic on a big blanket. Leo would push the children on the swings, higher and higher. Their laughter was the best sound in the world. In those moments, my heart felt so full, so happy. This was my life, a perfect, happy life. I thought I knew everything about Leo. I thought we shared everything: our dreams, our fears, our lives. I trusted him completely. My love for him was deep, like a big, quiet river. I thought nothing could ever change that. I was wrong, very wrong. My perfect marriage was a lie. My perfect life was built on secrets. And one day, the walls of my perfect world started to crack. It started with small things, things I didn't want to see. It began with the late nights. Leo started working late more often. At first, it was just one night a week. "A big project at work, my love," he explained. He looked tired. I felt sorry for him. I would make him a nice dinner and keep it warm. "Don't work too hard," I would tell him. He would smile and kiss my forehead. "I have to," he'd say. "It's important." I believed him. Of course, I did. I wanted to be a supportive wife. Then one night a week became 2 nights. Then 3. He started coming home very late. The children were already asleep. Our house was quiet. He would eat his dinner alone in silence. I would sit with him, but he was distant. He stared at his food. He seemed lost in thought. "Is everything okay at work?" I asked one night. My voice was gentle. I didn't want to pressure him. He looked up. His eyes seemed sad. "Yes, fine. Just a lot of pressure," he said quickly. He didn't look at me. He looked at the wall behind me. That felt strange. Before, he always looked at me when we talked. His phone started to become a secret. It was always with him. He took it to the bathroom. He kept it face down on the table. Once, it rang while we were watching a movie with the children. He looked at the screen and his face changed. He quickly stood up. "I have to take this," he said. He walked into the garden to talk. I watched him through the window. He looked stressed. He was walking back and forth. Who was he talking to? Why did he have to hide? Before, he always took his calls in front of me. We had no secrets, or so I believed. When he came back inside, I asked him, "Who was that, Leo?" I tried to make my voice sound casual, light. He didn't answer immediately. He took a long drink of water. "Just a colleague," he said, "about the project. It's very complicated." The answer felt wrong. It was too fast, too simple. A little seed of doubt started to grow in my heart. It was a tiny seed, but it was there. A few weeks later, I was looking at our bank account online. I paid our bills. It was something I always did. I noticed a withdrawal, a large one, $500. I didn't recognize it. The description was just a name I had never seen before. My heart started beating a little faster. Why was this money gone? That evening, I asked Leo about it. I tried to be calm. "Leo, I saw a withdrawal from our account for $500. Do you know what it was for?" He was reading a book. He slowly put it down. He didn't look at me. "Oh, that," he said. "It was for work, an investment for a new software. I'll get it back from the company later." His voice was steady, but his hands were not. He was tapping his fingers on his book, over and over. He only did that when he was nervous. I wanted to believe him. I needed to believe him. So I pushed my doubts away. "Okay," I said softly. I told myself I was being silly. I was imagining things. Leo loved me. He would never lie to me. Our life was perfect. I repeated this to myself like a prayer. Perfect, perfect, perfect. But the cracks were getting bigger. The lie was starting to show. The final push came on a rainy Thursday afternoon. Sam was sick with a small cold. I kept him home from school. We were watching a cartoon together. The mail arrived. I went to the front door to get it. There were some bills, some advertisements, and a white envelope. It didn't have a stamp. It looked like it was put in our mailbox by hand. My name was not on it, only Leo's. But below his name, written in big, angry red letters, were the words, "Final notice." My hands started to shake. Final notice? For what? I knew I shouldn't open it. It was his mail. But I couldn't stop myself. My heart was pounding in my chest. It felt like a drum. I told myself it was probably a mistake, something from work, but my hands opened the letter anyway. Inside, the words jumped out at me. Loan payment overdue. Repeated attempts to contact. Risk of legal action. The letter was from a company I had never heard of, a loan company. And the amount was huge. Thousands of dollars. There was another paper inside, a list of payments. He had been paying them small amounts for months. But now he was late. Very late. I couldn't breathe. It felt like the air was gone from the room. A loan. Why did Leo need a loan? We had enough money. He had a good job, didn't he? My mind was spinning. The late nights, the secret phone calls, the missing money, the nervous tapping. It all started to connect, like pieces of a puzzle, a very ugly puzzle. I sat down on the floor. The letter was shaking in my hand. Sam came into the hallway. "Mommy, are you okay?" he asked. His small voice was full of worry. I looked at his innocent face. I tried to smile. "I'm fine, sweetie," I whispered. My voice was weak. "Mommy is just a little tired." I folded the letter. I hid it in my pocket. I couldn't let the children see. I had to protect them. But who was going to protect me? That evening, when Leo came home, I couldn't look at him. I felt cold. I felt sick. He came to kiss me like he always did. I turned my head slightly. His lips brushed my cheek. He didn't seem to notice, or he pretended not to notice. We ate dinner in silence. The silence was different tonight. It wasn't peaceful. It was heavy, full of things I couldn't say. After the children were in bed, I knew I had to ask. I had to know the truth. My perfect world was already broken. I needed to see how broken it was. I went into the living room. He was sitting in his usual chair, staring at the blank television screen. I took a deep breath. I pulled the letter from my pocket. My hand was steady now. I was scared, but I was also angry. "Leo," I said. My voice was quiet but strong. "I found this today." I held out the letter. He looked at it. His face became pale, like all the color was gone. He didn't take it from me. He just stared at it. He closed his eyes. A long, slow sigh came from his chest. It was the sound of defeat. "Sophia," he whispered. His voice was broken. "I can explain." "Then explain," I said. "Explain the loan. Explain the lies. Explain everything." Tears started to run down my face. I couldn't stop them. "I thought we had a perfect marriage, Leo. I thought we didn't have secrets." He looked up at me. His eyes were full of pain and shame. "We did," he said. "We do. I was trying to protect it. I was trying to protect you." "Protect me? By lying to me?" I asked. My voice was getting louder. "How does that protect me?" He stood up. He walked towards me. He tried to hold my hands. I pulled them away. "Please, Sophia, sit down. Let me tell you everything, the whole truth." So I sat on the edge of the sofa. My body was stiff. My heart was a stone in my chest, and he began to talk. He told me the story, the real story, not the perfect story I believed in. And with every word he said, the beautiful house we built together crumbled around me. Leo sat in the chair opposite me. He didn't look at me at first. He looked at his hands. They were trembling. It started about 6 months ago, he began. His voice was low, almost a whisper. There were problems at my company. They were losing money. They had to let some people go. He paused. He took a shaky breath. Then he looked at me. His eyes were full of tears. They let me go, Sophia. I lost my job. The words hit me, harder than the letter, harder than anything. He lost his job 6 months ago. For 6 months, he had been pretending. Every morning, he got dressed in his suit. He picked up his briefcase. He kissed me and the children goodbye. And he left for a job that didn't exist. Where did he go? What did he do all day? My mind was a storm of questions. What? I whispered. But you were working late. The big project. He shook his head slowly. There was no project, he said. I was looking for another job, every day. I went to the library. I used their computers. I sent out my resume, hundreds of them. I went to interviews, but nothing. The market is bad. My skills are not new enough, they said. He looked so defeated, so small. This wasn't the strong, confident man I married. This was a stranger, a man full of secrets and failure. The late nights, he continued, or when I took on small jobs. Anything I could find. Helping a friend with his website. Driving for a delivery service. Anything to bring in some money. To keep things normal for you, for the kids. And the loan, I asked. My voice was cold. The $500. He winced. We were falling behind on the mortgage, he admitted. I didn't want you to worry. I didn't want us to lose the house. So I took out a loan, a small one at first, just to cover one payment. I thought I would find a job quickly. I thought I could pay it back. But I didn't find a job. And the loan grew. The interest was so high. I took out another loan to pay the first one. It became a mess. A terrible, stupid mess. He put his head in his hands. His shoulders were shaking. He was crying. I watched him. I felt so many things at once. I was angry. So angry that he had lied to me. For 6 months. He had created a fake world for us to live in. He treated me like a child. Someone who couldn't handle the truth. But under the anger, there was something else. A deep, aching sadness. I saw his shame. I saw his fear. He wasn't a bad man trying to hurt me. He was a proud man who couldn't admit he had failed. He was trying to protect his family. In the worst possible way. Why Leo? I asked. My voice was soft now. The anger was fading, replaced by a heavy sorrow. Why didn't you just tell me? We are a team. We are supposed to face things together. I was so ashamed, he sobbed. I felt like a failure. You and the kids. You looked at me like I was a hero. The man who gave you this perfect life. I couldn't stand to see that look disappear. I couldn't tell you that I had failed you. I thought I could fix it. I really did. I thought I could find a new job, pay back the money, and you would never have to know. It was stupid. So stupid. He was right. It was stupid. And it was selfish. But it also came from a place of love. A twisted, misguided love. He loved the idea of our perfect life so much that he tried to build it with lies when the truth became too hard. The room was silent for a long time. The only sound was his quiet sobs. My mind was racing. Our life, our house, our future. Was it all gone? The beautiful house was built on debt. His confidence was a mask. Our perfect marriage was not perfect. It was broken. Because real perfection is not about having no problems. It's about facing problems together. With honesty, I stood up. I walked to the window and looked out at our dark garden. The white flowers looked like ghosts in the moonlight. I thought about Sam and Lily, sleeping peacefully upstairs. They didn't know their world was falling apart. "How bad is it, Leo?" I asked, without turning around. "The money. How bad is it really?" He told me. He told me everything. The numbers were scary. The debt was big, much bigger than I imagined. We were in serious trouble. We could lose the house. We could lose everything we had worked for. Hearing the full truth was terrifying. It felt like standing on the edge of a cliff, but it was also a strange relief. The secrets were gone. The lies were over. This was our new reality. It was ugly. It was hard. But it was real. For the first time in 6 months, we were living in the truth. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to scream, to run away, to leave this man and his mountain of lies. But another part of me looked at him, crying in his chair, and saw the man I had loved for 10 years. The man who made funny pancakes for our children. The man who held my hand in the park. He had made a huge mistake, a life-changing mistake. But could we fix it? Together. "We need a plan," I said. My voice was shaking, but it was firm. He looked up, surprised. His face was red and wet with tears. "A plan." "Yes," I said. "We can't fix this with more lies. We need to face it. We need to tell the truth. To the banks. To our families, if we have to. We need to make a budget. We need to see what we can sell. We need to fight." I turned to look at him. "I will get a job. A full-time job. I can work. You can keep looking for something. We will do this together. If we are going to do this." The last words hung in the air. If. It was a big if. I didn't know if I could forgive him. Not completely. Not yet. The trust was gone. It was a fragile, broken thing. Maybe it could never be repaired. "Sophia," he whispered. He stood up and came to me. He didn't try to touch me. He just stood in front of me. "I know I don't deserve it, but thank you for not leaving." "I'm not making any promises, Leo," I said honestly. "I am so hurt and so angry. I don't know what will happen to us, but we have 2 children upstairs. and they deserve parents who fight for them. So, for now, we will fight. That night, I slept in the guest room. I couldn't sleep next to him. I needed space. I lay awake for hours, staring at the ceiling. My perfect marriage was a lie, but my love for my children was real. My strength, which I didn't even know I had, was real. The next morning, the sun came up. The house was quiet. I went downstairs. Leo was already in the kitchen. He had made coffee. He looked like he hadn't slept at all. His eyes were red. He handed me a cup. "Thank you," I said quietly. We sat at the kitchen table, the same table where we had so many happy family breakfasts. It felt different now. We took out a paper and a pen, and we started to make a plan. We wrote down all the debt. We wrote down all our expenses. We made a list of things we could sell. A second car, some of Leo's expensive watches. We talked about me going back to work. I used to be a teacher's assistant before I had Sam. Maybe I could do that again. It was hard. It was painful. Every number was a reminder of his lies. But we were talking, really talking, for the first time in a long time. There were no secrets between us at the table, just the hard, cold truth. Life is not a storybook. There is no easy, happy ending that happens in one day. Our journey was just beginning. It was a long, difficult road. We had to sell many things we loved. We had to live on a very tight budget. I found a job at a local school. It was tiring to work and take care of the children. Leo eventually found a new job. It paid less than his old one, but it was a job. It was a start. He went to counseling to understand why he lied, to learn how to communicate better. Our marriage is different now. It is not the perfect marriage I thought I had. That marriage was a dream, an illusion. Our marriage now is real. It is full of struggles and effort and difficult conversations. The trust is rebuilding, slowly, very slowly, like a plant growing from dry ground. Some days are hard. Some days I still feel the anger, the pain of his betrayal. Some days I wonder if we will make it. But then I see him playing with the children in the garden, and the love is still there. Faint, maybe, wounded, but there. I learned that a perfect life is not about having no problems. It's about being strong enough to face them. I learned that I am stronger than I ever thought. I am not just a wife and a mother who lives in a beautiful house. I am a woman who faced the truth and did not break. My story is not about a perfect marriage. It is about a real one. It's about the painful, messy, difficult work of rebuilding a life, of rebuilding trust, of finding strength in the middle of a storm. If you are listening to this, and maybe your life doesn't feel perfect, that's okay. Life is not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be real. And you are strong enough to handle the real. Whatever challenges you face, you can find your way through them. It is not easy, but you can do it. Be honest with yourself and with the people you love. Honesty is harder than lying, but it is where true strength is found. Keep going. You are stronger than you know.